Because it was like 8 years old, around First Communion, that first time I thought about priesthood. I had this kind of awe and fear of the priest because I knew he talked to God. I remember thinking one time when he went to the tabernacle, he's talking to God about me, so I better be good. We are 14 kids, 8 boys, 6 girls. I remember lessons that my mom and dad taught us about sacrifice. One particular instance where I asked my mama, "Oh, are y'all gonna eat?" They said, "No, baby, we're gonna get ours later." And I knew well that they weren't going to eat. They, sacrificed for us. When I got to high school, kind of went underground, the whole priesthood thing, and went to my college years. It became more like the question was somewhere back there. I think deep down inside I knew, but at the same time, we're not going to touch that right now. One particular evening, I was at a mass, and there was a priest there, and he had promised Our Lady that wherever he'd go, he'd do an altar call for Our Lady's sons and daughters who are being called to religious life or priestly vocations, that they would come forward. I was sitting there, I felt it. I felt this burning in my heart, and I looked up, I saw Miss Joyce and Miss Bees are sitting in the front row. If I stand up, I'm as good as ordained. So I just sat there. And then when it was all over, I felt terrible. I felt like Jesus was standing there and said, come on, little brother, what's up with that? And I asked him a question of, have I been standing in your way of what you would want for my life? In the silence, there was this tiny yes. That moment, and I told him I was sorry, it was also kind of like a relief. That little thing that was way back in my heart, I finally brought it to the fore, and I finally acknowledged that it was actually there. I went to talk to this priest, and he turned around, looked at me, and said, "You were supposed to come up here." And I said, "Yeah, Father, I was." And I said, "But Father, I was scared." And he said, "That's all right, son, we all get scared." I said, "But just don't stay scared." I said, "The Lord is not going to lead you to anything for your detriment. And so trust him." And those words were like, wow, okay, he just told me. Went to them and told them exactly what was going on and that I was going to leave for seminary. And my mama told me, "You don't belong to me, you belong to him. So if he's calling you to be his priest, then you go, boy." And I just sat there and looked at my mama and looked at my daddy. I'm like, wow, that went well. It is more joy than I ever thought I could have, and more suffering than I ever thought I could bear. I tell you what, it's a great adventure. You won't regret it.